96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. 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 Foundation.
The Foundation with Hard Grant is brought to you by Alive, Bahamas Building and Fire, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, Faith Center Ministries, Grand Bahama News, Popeyes, and Ron's Electric Motors.
Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation on this absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, live and in full effect. So happy to be in your company today. I want to dive into it today. I think they gave me a breather today, right? Because I booked some people and, they call me and they say, "What happened, Ma? You trying to kill Dawn Sanders?" I said, I didn't do nothing, right? And then they say, "Well, we can call you back, right?" And I don't see them. Talk to me in decency and in order. I want to be able to put everything on the table today. I want to thank you guys for being able to tune in with us today. It is the Nassau Guardian. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. New tourism record, 7.2 million visitors up to the end of September. Arrivals already exceed total for 2019. $21 million is the cost for the overrun for the BPL power plant. Absolutely bananas. Mitchell suggests that it's best for the PLP chairman to be in the cabinet. We heard this before. And also a man shot dead at the Harbor Bay Plaza out there. I think they were saying it's in the front of MacFit. This is bananas. This is absolutely bananas. Yeah, make sure you read the newspaper. Pick up the newspaper. Father accused of molesting daughters. My God, alienated children from family. And this is what the court's actually here. This is bananas. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper and keep abreast with what's going on. Not just sort of the hearsay, what's all over in your WhatsApp. And this press and that press and this and all these things like that, these things with these people create, especially during this election season. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper and dive into local news and understand it and be abreast of what's going on nationally so you can be able to contribute to the conversation. Guys, I want to thank all those persons that continue to be able to sponsor the show and support us here. My very good friends down at Mallow B. Butler and Sons Butler Mart. Make sure you check them out. It's a wonderful thing that they're on with what we're doing and contributing to everything that we're actually doing. I really do appreciate that. Make sure you go check that. My good friend Alan Butler out down there at Milo B. Butler and Sons at Butler Mart. They have great protein packages. I keep saying protein packages. I hope you know that's meat, right? That's chicken, right? So that's chicken, pork, wings. The whole thing is laid out for you, and it's affordable. Can I say that to you? I think a lot of people say cheap, right? I like to say accessible and affordable because I really don't go for cheap, right? But I always look for the discount, or I always look for sort of a reduced rate because I got children. I got like a bunch of children to feed. So I want to be able to get something. And if you want that in the same shoe as me, and can't sleep in the night, you have a lot of kids to feed, make sure you go down there to Milo B. Butler and Sons and pick up your protein packages. They are good, decent people, and always being able to support us here and what we're doing. I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to have those persons. And make sure you check out AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers down there on Blue Hill Road South. Walk and tell Ethric Bro that Howard Grant sent you for the foundation. And make sure you get your car all tuned up in terms of insurance and preparation to hit the road. Today is October 31st. October 31st. So you want to be able to ensure that it's the last day for you to be able to ride dirty. If your birthday was in October, and this is your last month. So make sure you get down there and get your insurance, get yourself prepared, get everything laid out. I know that there's going to be tons and tons of cars outside in the front of road traffic tomorrow, being able to get their cars taken care of and whatnot. So make sure you get your insurance taken care of. Mr. Richardson's down there. He'll be more than happy to assist you in those areas. I want to thank those persons. Make sure you check out also Bahamas Bus and Truck. Man, these guys are very good. I want to thank them so much. Ben Aubrey, these guys, they are amazing at what they do, and they've been supporting us for a very long time across maybe about 4 or 5 platforms. All right, it's a shame that I got to say it like that, but it's the truth. And I realize relationships are the thing that actually continues to be able to feed you here in this city, here in this country. So I want to be able to thank him for his relationship, his commitment to being able to help us out every time we need an opportunity to be able to move forward. Go check out Ben Aubrey down there at Bahamas Bus and Truck. He'd be more than happy to be able to assist you. He got all the Jeeps, everything prepared for you. If you are looking for a vehicle, can I say this to you? If you are looking for a vehicle, if you didn't touch and agree with your significant other, your spouse, and say, baby, it is time for us to get a new vehicle, go down there to Bahamas Bus and Truck. Ben Aubrey be able to assist you. Let them know that the foundation sent you. And I also want to tell you, last but definitely not least, about my good, decent friends. Come on, man, talk to me over at my pastor. I won't be decent. I won't be decent. I'm enjoying this thing over the past few months. We've been actually going down to Bahama Harvest Church, and it has been life-changing. Can I say that? It has been life-changing for not just me. You know, sometimes we're always individually motivated by what we feel, see, think, hear for ourselves. But when there's a reformation, when there is a change in your entire family, when there is participation, you know that you made the right move. I'm grateful for that. I want you guys to go and check out Bahama Harvest Church. Go and check out their app. Down there, the app, they got the sermon notes and information there. Please check that information out. They have a magnanimous, I'm talking about an absolutely wonderful series for all those persons who are getting married, who are thinking about getting married, who are married, who want to be able to renew, revive, restore their relationship, who want to strengthen it, who's kind of shaky on the rocks, indecisive as to whether or not you should even be together at all. Go and check out the series, Let's Stay Together, all right? Pastor Mario Moxie has put together this wonderful series. I want you to go in there, check it out, find out more information about it, understand this, check out the sermon notes, be able to engage, go back and watch the sermons. It is absolutely amazing. I want to be very clear with you. I'm grateful to be in the opportunity, in the space of being able to talk about these things, and I'm grateful for you guys to be able to be here with us. It is a beautiful day. I want to put everything on the table, guys. I thank you so kindly for tuning in with us. I want to talk about a few things. Definitely going to get into politics. The lines are going to be open today. Let's put the numbers out there right off the top. If you want to be able to give us a call and join us in the conversation, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up 422-4796. Live and in full effect, new tourism record, 7.2 million visitors up to the end of September. Tourism figures for 2003 are more than 50% ahead of the last year's numbers, have already smashed the pre-pandemic record of 7.2 million arrivals in a single year. I want to touch this because I want to touch this. I want to touch this. Whilst I appreciate our Deputy Prime Minister in his particular capacity, Chester Cooper, his business acumen, his posture, and his zealous approach of being able to talk about what's happening from a tourism standpoint, for me, not necessarily for the country, not necessarily for those persons that you're delivering this to say that your administration has done a great deal. For me, this is concurrent. This runs concurrent, parallel with what's happening around the world. Now let me do this. Let's do this. You know that I was in Hong Kong for 5 days. For 5 days, I hardly slept. I slept on a people bench. I roll over. I told you that I cut off at 1 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, flights were coming in. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people every single day. Every single day. I got a flight from Hong Kong back to London. And because I know some people, I say, listen, these chill. I don't want to squeeze up on nobody. I told you, I didn't know if you heard it when I was telling you. When I was going over, they gave me a window seat, right? The 14-hour flight. I got a window seat, right? And it was a full flight. It was a full flight from London to Hong Kong. It was a full flight, right? And so they gave me a window seat. And so I'm sitting in the window, and this mother brought her daughter, but her daughter was autistic, right? And so the daughter kept looking at me, right? And I was like, oh my God, this is extremely, this is uncomfortable. I don't know why she keeps looking at me, right? So I had 40,000 feet in the air, 40,000, right? 40,000 feet in the air. The temperature outside is minus 37 because you could see the entire thing, right? And we're flying to Hong Kong at about 600-700 miles an hour, maybe more, right? You could see the entire thing. They have this sort of the back office of what's happening in the plane. You could see all the angles of the plane. They show you everything where you're flying over. You could see all this stuff on your monitor, right? So I don't know what happened. I developed gas. I don't know, right? But I can't get up to go to the bathroom, right? Because I got the girl here, and then I got her mother here. These are to the location, right? I'm getting in their business, right? So I don't want to disrupt the mother because she had to set up everything for the baby girl, right? And I say baby girl, but she looked like she was about 28, right? She was an older girl, but her mother had to take care of her. And I had gas. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get to the bathroom. I can't even take this. Jesus. Oh, wait, right? I can move, right? I can move. But the young lady, she was licking off on the side of me. Pop, 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 pop. And I said, Jesus, this woman. Oh, and I couldn't even say, miss, you got to hold your gas, right? But anyway, so I'm here, and this is a full flight in the middle of the day, Wednesday, from London to Hong Kong. Full flight. I say, oh my God, this flight don't even have one seat that I can move to. Okay, boom. Coming back, I cross my finger. I say, okay, well, this is a peculiar time. I don't think nobody going from there. Full flight going from Hong Kong to London. Full flight. Full flight. And then I say, okay, well, we didn't have that kind of issue going from Nassau. Going from London to Nassau. The flight on British Airways, it actually goes to Cayman Islands, right? But it stops in Nassau for refuel or whatever they do, right? So it goes from London to Nassau to Cayman Island, right? Full flight. My point to you is that tourism has rebounded globally. Pre-pandemic numbers was disastrous for everyone across the globe. There's nothing that the Ministry of Tourism has done special. Whether you've been a good one in America, good morning Chicago, good morning the metropolis. I don't know where you've been. I've seen this kind of a walk around and you're touching some people. There is absolutely nothing that you've done differently that will cause people to run into the Bahamas other than the fact that loved ones have died globally. And we've understood and come to understand our mortality and have a desire to be able to see more. There is nothing, absolutely nothing this administration or anyone else has done to be able to provoke or cause people to move towards tourism. Nothing. There was absolutely nothing. The decision that I've made to go to Hong Kong and China had nothing to do with promotions. It had to do with mortality and understanding the frail, fragile nature of life and the desire to be able to see more and do more before I leave. Political organizations have a way of being able to frame a concept, project this into your mind to make you believe that as a result of their posture, position, and the opportunity that you've given them, this is what we've yielded for you. Anyone here, anyone, Lincoln Bain could have been, my God, let me don't say that, my God, I pull that back, let me take that back, right? Anyone could have sat in the capacity of prime minister and we would have seen these significant numbers. And I dare to say that in due time and due season, we will see more significant numbers climb. I do not want to diminish anything you've done. However, like I said to Dionisio Diaghilev, in the midst of the pandemic, the Ministry of Tourism has taken on a posture that a great deal of others have done and other subsectors of government. They waited to see. That's all. They were in a holding pattern, waiting to see what would happen. Can I say this? Can we talk like this? There was an expectation that I had. You remember when I was doing my patio politics? You remember when I had the section or the series, I had it in on Pompey Square, and then I had it in Rawson Square, and I had it all over the place. I would invite different persons. Dionisio Diaghilev, he was the Minister of Tourism at the time, and I invited him, and he sat with me, and I was just kind of asking him, go back and look at it, Patio Politics. You can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Facebook, you can check it out, right? And I was asking him, and I said, tell me what tourism is doing new. Have you come together? Have you identified a new approach to be able to deal with these things? Have you strengthened this? Have you done this? Have you done that? Are you using technology to be able to ensure that you can get these things? What other avenues that you're going to be able to bring people in for tourism? Have you done this? Have you done nothing? Everything is traditional. Everything is old. Everything is by the book of yesteryear. And nothing progressively has been done to be able to change the course. So $7.2 million is not to be attributed solely to the fact that we've done this amazing job in bringing people into the Bahamas. We haven't done anything. All we've done is open the borders. And people decided to travel. Some people with masks, some people without. People do not want to be cooped up to die in their own confines, in their own homes, into their own spaces, and never been able to travel the world. Top of people lists. Top. You just won the Super Bowl. Where are you going to go? I'm going to the Bahamas. Some people, I'm going to Disney World. Come on, man, talk to me. Let's have a very clear conversation. And the question that I have is that what is this administration incorporating in tourism in every subsector of government to ensure that there's something new that's being done? Across the board, I can't see new technology being incorporated to get those new ideas, those new persons, those new avenues to be able to reach customers and customer service across the world. We're doing the same old, and boasting that numbers are increasing. See, the fear that I have is that as a result of this, because people don't travel no more just for sunshine and sea. They don't travel for sights. They travel for experience. If there's no experience that actually can be able to be an anchor to say, I'd like to be able to re-engage that and see that again, if there's nothing that we can offer that other sectors and other parts of the Caribbean and other parts of the world is not offering the tourists, then 7.2 may be now. By the time as we get to 2025 and everybody's kind of shaking that travel bug out of their system, your numbers are going to deplete significantly. Because we would have already traveled Gone to Canada, gone to Europe, my wife was on the phone the other night on my cell phone. Can I say this? I don't know why. I just want to tell you this. I don't know why. A 954 number called me. I don't know what this number is. I don't know these people. I said, what the hell this is? They asked for my wife. I said, what? I give her the phone, right? She give the people my number. These people talking about a Mediterranean something. She won't go on cruise and this and that. I only trying to draw a reference to you. Everyone is ready to travel. No provocation, no promotion, no nothing. Just a very clear understanding that we can't keep doing this like this. My God, it's time for us to get off this rock. My God, if it's time for us to get out of this space. So to see that the Minister of Tourism taking on this position of boasting about 7.2 with not accompanying that conversation with how we're going to be able to retain this, how we're going to be able to expand this, how growth and development from this particular standpoint, the brick and mortar concept has to be done away with. The new cruise port is wonderful. We love it. It's beautiful. But if we're not talking about sustainability and retention, expansion, for a product, a brand, a service, you're not even rolling anything out new. How do you expect these numbers to be able to stay steadfast as we move towards 2026? Let's have a very clear understanding about this. This is the one thing that I have a pet peeve with. The rolling out from each administration about a new concept and idea about new projects and prospects and so forth and so on, and has no element of sustainability. There's no element of growth. You're not showing us that this is going to grow. How are you going to be able to strategically put yourself in a position to be able to ensure that next dispensation, we're going to be able to exceed these numbers? We keep talking about these 7.2, 8.6, all these numbers where people are just walking through our shores. That's not reflected in our community. It's not. You got 8.2 million people, and they're not spending any money with us. We don't have any product to be able to identify that this is ours. Your product's still saying made in China. Inconsistency, customer service is poor and deplorable as it relates to being able to go to these traditional spaces like the straw market. The identity of the spaces that's supposed to be authentically Bahamian, that we could be able to show them our twang, our style, our patois, the way that we speak, our posture, the taste and flavor. Everything is being diluted by people rushing into our borders, and no one's protecting that. No one. So when you go down to fish fry and you having peas and rice, and the people call it rice and peas, as a tourist, you have no idea. When this taste is off, as a Bahamian, you could taste this. As a tourist, you have no idea. We are losing the authenticity of who we are, just to be able to praise the numbers of persons coming in. We're not retaining the experience. We're not sharpening the experience. And if you believe that Bahama House is sufficient, then you've already lost the race. You've already lost the race. I don't believe that any administration is really serious about this country. And I have to say that far and wide. I don't. I don't believe that any administration is serious about this country. FNM, PLP. I don't believe you're serious about it. I believe that you've placed yourself in this kind of a position where you want to be able to hold the line. I just ain't want to do worse than the last fellow. Hold the line. You are afraid. You are afraid. You are afraid to try. You are afraid to step out of that box that they've placed you in. You are afraid. You are afraid to try something new. And so you keep on doing these things that the same old, and hoping to God that you don't do bad, as worse as the last fellow. But no innovation and creativity. All you do is talk it. You don't walk the walk. You talk the talk, but you have never walked the walk. You are afraid to step out into the great unknown and really see the talent that exists in this space. It's not enough to talk about numbers. Numbers mean absolutely nothing. They are the same numbers for the fella in the pit at the casino. He counting money all Jesus' day. None belong to him. Dying his money? Is he supposed to get excited solely for the numbers that exist before him? Or should he devise a concept, an idea to be able to create something for himself based upon what the talent that he has to ensure that we can retain something more than just counting numbers? We got to do more than this, ladies and gentlemen. We got to have a real conversation for growth. The former administration kept talking to us about creativity and innovation, creativity and innovation, creativity and innovation. This administration coming in to talk about inclusion, creativity, innovation, and we're seeing absolutely nothing. I just want to put this on the table for you. Lines are wide open if you want to be a part of the conversation before we go to a commercial break. Let me take the telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, morning, Howard.
Hey.
It's very timely.
What's up, Graham?
The price of gas, sir. $6.19, but no one talking about it. We all talk about West End, West End, West End. That's your place.
You know that?
And I'm telling you, West End, we need to make West End the capital. I don't want to copy that Trump guy, but make West End great again. Because y'all were the capital. You were great. And
One
for the last
time.
50 years, what have we done for you?
Nothing.
You're on point, you know. See, 40, 41, 42, that's a biblical generation. Mm-hmm. And you starting to question now, you got kids, what's in it for your future, their future. Mm-hmm. Not to run to Canada where they own nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You see, instead of the fish fry, we trying to turn that into the French fry. Not the fish fry, but the French fry. See, we need to make sure. I want to use the word indigenous, not organic. And we understand that the true Indian, Native American, Indian Bahamian no longer exists, but some of their Red Bay, current Eleuthera, Cherokee Indian, Abaco, some of the descendants might still be around. But I'm going to come back to technology. So you said they all promised you young people technology because you guys are technology specialists, as C. Allen would say. You're prepared, digitally prepared. And the man with the fax machine doesn't understand your smartphone. I'm going to try to be real calm and collective in how I break this down today. One man who's in charge of education stood up in the House Assembly and said, Mike Sharon got to show me how to use this smartphone. I almost fell out of my car seat. Good thing I had my seatbelt on. Howard, Airbnb, VBRO, is taking tourism out of the hands of the grabalicious monopolies and putting it in the small man's hand how it used to be. Sir Lyndon Pinland said people to people, remember?
I remember this.
But before Sir Lyndon, it was Stafford Sands. And before him, it was the Bimini model. We're talking West End and Bimini a lot now.
Yeah.
The Bimini model spilled over into Abaco, where there is no big cruise ship in Abaco, no big hotel like we have in the New Providence. But yet when Dorian hit, 1/3 of the tourist dollars were lost. How do you have 1/3 of the tourist economy in Abaco and you don't have a big hotel or a big boat? See, we own the bed, the sheet, the pillow, the knife, the spoon, the fork, the snorkel if you want to go snorkeling. We own boat, the tour boat. We own every part of tourism. And New Providence is finally realizing that you've been sold out to be cheap labor in a big boat or a big hotel. And using the power of the internet and the conceptual economy that C. Allen, me, and many talk about, we're now seizing the moment and tourism, putting the people, like Pinland said, in our people to people. Stay with us. We'll show you. We'll take you to the fish fry and show you what's a Bahamian fish versus a French fry. We'll show you where to go and what to do. And I told, because, you know, I was friendly with Mr. Obi Wilshcombe. I even went on a radio show with him, and people punished me. My tribe punished me, saying, how could I do that with a PLP? You know how it goes.
Would you say your tribe? Okay, go ahead. I like this. Okay. okay, Graham.
The white people, them.
Graham,
I was trying to be nice.
I was content with your tribe, okay? I was content with that, right?
Yeah. I had to just, Anyway, let's not digress. And I told Mr. Wilscombe and Mr. D'Aguilar that as soon as the Internet of Things and the conceptual economy allowed us to use Airbnb, we would take back tourism, and we're doing so, believe me. And I said, when it happens, you would tax it. Sure enough, we got VAT on
Right
Airbnb.
away.
Hold on. The next thing for Airbnb is what? Your property tax goes up because you're now commercial. What's the next thing?
That's wrong,
NIB
Joe.
letter of good standing. What's the next thing?
That's
Business
wrong.
license on your Airbnb.
All
What's
this
the
is
next
wrong.
thing? Garbage disposal contract. See, we will tax you.
All this is wrong.
You'll beg for that hotel job back.
All this is wrong.
Isn't that sad? Instead of helping you embracing it, I told Mr. Wilscombe, I said, listen, let's have Bahamas B&B. Let's tell Airbnb there will be nobody booking any Airbnb to stay in our country. We're going to have Bahamian computer
but Graham,
specialists and
if it's
app
not
specialists.
broken, you don't have to fix it. If there's nothing wrong with people-to-people program to revive that, to be able to put that back in space.
Howard, how do you take and seize Airbnb for you? You do Bahamas B&B. When the person comes, you say, kindly book that through Bahamas B&B. Kindly send the money to the Bank of the Bahamas or our Bahamian bank. Right now, when you book it, it goes to someone else's bank. When you book a big hotel in the Bahamas, you book that in some other country, and you pay, and the money goes to that country. When you book a cruise, that money goes to some other country. We should have the call center. You book it here. This is technology you're crying for, and the jobs and ownership that would come here.
Wow.
See, Howard, I don't want to make the bed for $350 a week. I want to make my own bed for the tourist for $100 a night. That's $700 a week. See the difference in ownership?
Yeah.
Finally understanding. You young people understand, and I feel y'all don't want no more of what's the same. Because, Howard, answer me this. We've had almost 50 plus years, but we've had almost equal between two parties, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't get one hospital.
Not one.
Instead, both of them put VAT on your food. Stop. They don't want you to eat. Secondly, they put duty on your food. My God, duty on food. Lastly, for all the old and seniors listening to me on the radio, I want this one for y'all. We just put 10% on pension. Your little tiny pension got 10% taken out because everything you buy has VAT as a senior. Isn't that a sick set of scenarios over 50 years? So you tell me the new guy is no good. Howard, when you were dating back in the day, you had a girl that you knew cheated on you, and you left her.
Graham, you're wilding out. You're doing way too much. I had one girlfriend.
I don't wind up with this one. You had a girl. You had a girl in a red shirt that cheated on you. You had a girl in a yellow shirt that cheated on you. You met this new girl in church, and other people say she ain't no good, but you say you have a feeling she is, and they just hate us. You could try the new girl or go back to two bad gals. I gone.
I appreciate you, my brother. I can tell you one thing. Grammys tell you, old broom know where the dirt is. My God. What Samson say? She pleaseth me well. My God, you need to stop it. 96.9 FM radio. Quick commercial break. Be right back after this.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators, and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
We've been with you from the very start, leading the way and providing you with the best in primetime sporting experiences. From one goal to the next, you can count on us for full access to the best sports channels at home or on the go. Make Rev your only choice. Visit Rev.bs. Every match, every game, every moment. Rev, your home for sports.
America completely run out of it.
Join Bishop Henry Fernandez, Shirley Caesar, and Jonathan Nelson for the Becoming My Best Self Conference on November 2nd to the 4th at the Baha Mar Hotel. You do not want to miss these 3 days of anointed music, worship, and the Word. Get your tickets now. For one price, you can worship with Shirley Caesar and Jonathan Nelson and participate in every session for the entire weekend. Register now at henryfernandez.org or purchase your tickets at Suntime Marathon Mall, the Galleria entrance. Contact 242-601-2012 for more info. Seats are limited. It's time to level up at the Becoming Your Best Self Conference. Meet us there.
Popeyes, get the chicken sandwich you love, but make it blackened. Marinated in Popeyes blackened seasoning, that is. Our new juicy filet is fried to perfection without the breading, served on a toasted brioche bun. Try it today as a combo or a la carte. Don't forget to choose your level of spice today at any one of our 3 locations.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Too many debt bills? Overdue on loan payments? Improve your credit score and credit report with the Bahamas Credit Bureau. Shrink your debt payments with a debt consolidation loan and built-in savings that pays you 5% interest. Call 356-7764.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money, guaranteed with DIC.
Jumpstart this holiday season with BWF. We have just what you need for renovating, remodeling, decorating, baking, or just a minor home improvement. Shop BWF for fantastic fall savings, up to 20% off. Going on now through Saturday, November 4th on appliances, combo specials, ductless AC units, barbecue grills, kitchen and outdoor cooking supplies, generators, compressors, and power tools, automotive supplies and accessories, lawn and garden supplies, junk canoe and craft supplies, household items, and much more. So, catch this 20% off sale to get an early start on your Christmas decor and enjoy a Bahamian Christmas experience at BWF. Bahamas Welding and Fire, we are more than just our name. Located number 13 Wilton Street, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Visit us on Facebook and we ship to the Family Island. Call us at 394-0004 or 6.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Brand, your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Give me a call, 323-623-2325, 431-6-325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. Somebody just texted me. I want to read this text for you. It says, Howard, are you not giving credibility to the hardworking team at the Ministry of Tourism who have traveled across the world promoting the Bahamas? Please, sir, be fair. I just have to take a pause with that because I don't know if I give, I won't be good. I don't want to diminish these persons and their value in terms of what they do. I don't want to do that. I have to take a pause, right? But you structured it in a particular manner. Credibility to the hardworking team at the Ministry of Tourism who have been traveled across the world promoting the Bahamas. That is literally their job. That's what they signed up for. As I sat in Hong Kong waiting for somebody from the embassy in Beijing to hit me up, right? Every single one of them told me not to call their name. Every single person, every person who I had contact with, is about 6 of them. In fact, they even called me on a group call on the WeChat thing. They say, Howard, please don't call my name. When I did the show about Obi, there was someone sitting on the side of me who brought me my emergency travel document. And she said, Mr. Grant, please don't call my name. You know why? This is what she said. This is the job I signed up for. This is what I do. Every single one of them said the same thing to me. No one was looking for recognition. No one was looking for praise. Everyone just wanted to perform to the best of their ability. Someone asked me when I came back, well, thank God you was Howard Grant, because they wouldn't have jumped for anybody else. Stop it. You need to stop it. This is what these people just do. If you know you're a Bahamian and you got a Bahamian passport and you're off in a foreign land, there is an embassy that can assist you. Let's just shoot straight. This is what they do. This is what the Ministry of Tourism does. I'm grateful that our forefathers had the foresight to be able to identify the importance of being able to span out into the global community and have representation in subsectors of areas to be able to funnel traffic towards the Bahamas. Excellent. In the interim and the concept that happened in the beginning of those times, it's an excellent thing. It might have been innovative. It might have been new to be able to cause people to come here. But now this is mundane. This is merely a job. There's no prestige associated with this. There's no prestige, there's no glitz and glamour because you work for the Ministry of Tourism, maybe from the perception standpoint on the ground here in the Bahamas, but you are on a job. These people working. And all I am saying to you is that there is a lack of innovation. This has nothing to do with the employee. This is leadership, and executive leadership, and political leadership that doesn't have the insight or the courage to make a decision to move in a different direction. If they were to make a decision to move in a different direction, to be able to incorporate something new, then those employees, those hardworking employees from the Ministry of Tourism, would execute according to what the requirements are. So don't make it seem like I'm talking about these people. I'm simply saying from a political standpoint where the fortitude, the strength, the vision, the passion, the determination, the support financially and otherwise to incorporate new ideas, innovative ideas for growth and development in this sector, it's not coming. That's all I say to you. You fight me for that. Don't fight me. Let's talk about this thing. Let's talk it through, okay? Let's be decent. Now, let's go further. I want to read this for you, and then I come into your telephone calls. Popular destinations with Airbnb restrictions. Singapore. Singapore has some of the strictest Airbnb policies in the world. There are hundreds of Singaporean properties listed on Airbnb. Technically, it's not illegal to book an Airbnb in the city or state of Singapore, but unwary guests may find themselves legally barred by security from entering properties. That's one. That's one. This thing ain't open. Hold on. There are significant restrictions that Airbnb, certain cities have actually, I think they're in some places in South Florida, they actually have Airbnb in court. Because certain residential areas wasn't designed for this. As a result of the pandemic, a great deal of persons have poured into Airbnb. And those persons who are ahead of the curve, who understood the importance of being able to provide an experience, an authentic experience, they may be, a little bit different. But the truth of the matter is that we don't need Airbnb. We don't. We do not need Airbnb. We do not. We could ban Airbnb from the country entirely and make every single person who have Airbnb, make them apply directly through, let's call it Bahamas B&B, right? Let's call it People to people B&B, whatever you want to call it, right? Every one of those persons, we give them access to people B&B. Let's call it that, right? Let's do it for the purposes of this conversation. We reduce their taxes for 36 months to 5%. We afford them an opportunity to access from $50,000 to $250,000 through the Development Bank of the Bahamas for the development purposes of their thing. We provide them concessions similar to the Hotel Act. And we afford them an opportunity with new legislation into the House of Assembly we put a white paper in the House of Assembly for the Hotel Encouragement Act for Airbnb persons. Because people didn't just want to sell their home. They don't want to just give you their garage and give you that space in there. They're looking to survive. They got to pay their bills. They're carving out some of the sanctity of their own home to provide an opportunity to be able to survive. And if the government provides these opportunities for them, then we could say, my God, these people are innovative. Jesus. My God, I can't believe the PLP do this. Other than that, you're just joking. All you're doing is burdening the Bahamian people with taxes upon taxes, and you're looking and giving each other high five. This is absolute garbage. And I just have to shoot straight with you. I'm not impressed with this. You give concessions up the wazoo for these hotel owners from far and wide. Up the wazoo. You give them concessions after concessions. You smile with them. You pop champagne with them after they fire every Bahamian person that works for them. Everyone at the property. You give them high five. You go there, cut the ribbon. You pop champagne. You do all these things and do not provide concessions for those persons who've been released, who can't get nothing from the bank. And the only resource that they have is the place where they grew up in. Is the place where they built for their family. Thank God they're 2 children old now. Insensitive and out of touch with the Bahamian people. That's just how I feel. Let's talk about it. The lines are wide open. Be a part of the conversation. Let me read a couple of these texts. It says, Howard, thank you. Tourist numbers have peaked globally. The Bahamas did nothing special other than reopening its borders. Could have been Minas, Christie, Brave, Lincoln, Bain. Numbers would have been the same. The question should be asked, how much did the Bahamas benefit of those numbers? There's a text coming through. Let me take a telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
How are you?
I'm good, man.
Awesome, man, to the Bahamas. Mr. Grant, you tell Mr. Graham, Rutherford, that he's going with a yellow gal, eh? With a yellow gal. The only thing you can get from her is cavity. All right? And you just go to the dentist and spend a few dollars to get her teeth fixed. But that new girl, she's a crackhead. She's full of demons. She's a crackhead. She's full of demons. And she will wreck your life.
But what they say about red gals?
And the red girl?
What they tell me about red gals?
That red girl, she bad. She ain't no good. She ain't no good. She's a bad girl. She's not good for you. She will cost you your whole family.
My God.
She ain't no good.
My God. All right, Graham, get here.
All right.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. That's all you call to say? My God. Guys, the lines are wide open. 323-623-2325, 431-6325-4259. Anywhere for the family of islands. Toll-free number, 242-300, 5720, 242-300, 5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. He said, Howard, what do you say? Howard, you should write a book. You should write a book titled Stuck in Beijing, right? No, I told you I bought a couple shirts, Lost in Hong Kong, which is extremely... Did you remember Hangover, the series? You remember Hangover? When it was Lost in Hong Kong? You remember that? You remember that? It's one of the shirts I purchased, right? So, let's see if we read a couple more of these texts. Howard, when Lang started referencing your show, you know you reach. He did yesterday. He said, keep it up. As far as the tourism is concerned, A RF financial expert said that the tourism high is about to fall off, as this is only due to the pent-up demand. His thoughts were how we are truly going to create the GDP growth when it does. I like that pent-up demand. That's just all it is. That's why I don't. That's one of the things I don't like about politicians. Politicians have a responsibility to always show their administration, their body, their party progressive in its thought and leading the way forward. And for all those persons who don't read, all those persons who aren't necessarily adept, who aren't abreast with what's happening locally and internationally, you consume this information and you attribute that to your political organization if they're in the office. Oh, my party did this, boom. And then they come up with these concepts, these dim-witted concepts and ideas that have no avenue of sustainability. And then leave it to people like me to talk about it. And then I sound like I know every Jesus thing, and I don't. All I know is this don't make no sense. 98 of y'all sit down and talk and think about this. Guess what you think about? 250 of y'all sit down, call each other, drink coffee, eat steak over this idea. And this is what you bring to the Bahamian people. This is the idea you bring to the Bahamian people. And then you dissect it by what's happening globally. You are afraid to try anything new. And you want us to believe you. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to be able to sit with Don Sanders from the Free National Movement. The interview did not go the way that I intended. Can I say that? I did not know that this is going to be sort of a standoff with Garden Hills. I did not know that. I did not know that. I did not know that. I had no intentions to make this about Garden Hills. But this was something recently that we saw, and I wanted to kind of put it on the table to see whether or not there was at least those fractions coming together to make a determination that we're going to put this aside for now and let's go after West Grand, Bahama, and Bimini. Obviously, that didn't happen. But all of a sudden, when Don Sanders showed up, he brought with him some information that I saw maybe a night or two before pop up on the internet about the ideas for Bishop Ricardo Grant and West Grand, Bahama, and Bimini. I thought it was peculiar that if this information existed in his heart and his chest, when he sat on any platform, he should have spoken about it. But all of a sudden, when the formality of the organization actually supports him, steps behind him, now there is a structure associated with it. So it seems as though you've given him the words to say. I didn't say that you did. I say it seems as though you did that. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't. I'm not fighting you. I'm not saying that you did. This is not accusation. I'm simply saying to you, it only show up after you come. It didn't exist before you reach. And if I listen to it, I realize this is cookie cutter information that can be applied to any constituency in the family of islands. Any family island you go to, you need lights on one long road. We're always hearing about deaths coming out of Eleuthera. We're always hearing about accidents that happen on Queens Highway coming out of North Abaco and Andres. Any constituency you go to, you can see these things. There's lack of innovation, lack of creativity. And you expect us to identify your candidate, choose your organization, and you are afraid to make a decision. This is bananas to me. Let's take a telephone call. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. We got to go to the news. Ladies and gentlemen, forgive me. I didn't even know it's 1 o'clock. We are sliding the Boston thing. Guys, quick commercial break. Go to news and be back after this.
Foundation. Foundation.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, live and in full effect, October 31st. All y'all who are going to do your little trick-or-treating and stuff like that, listen to me, y'all. Just be decent tonight, eh? Listen, just be decent tonight, eh? My God, I remember stories. Listen, I wasn't the best as a child, right? In 8 Mile Rock. I'm going to tell you a quick story. A very quick story about my indecent brother and cousin, right? They are the worst. I just want to tell you a very quick story. We watched Macaulay Culkin movie, right? All us together. Was it The Good Son? Do you remember? The Good Son, Macaulay Culkin, right? Right off the heels of what he did with Home Alone, I think it was The Good Son, when he stuffed these clothes and he stuffed these clothes and threw it off a bridge and caused a big accident in the movie, right? We watched this movie. And I didn't know that my brother and cousin were inspired by this. I didn't know they were inspired by demonic activity. Obviously, it's wild, right? So they stuffed this is what they did. They took some old clothes and they stuffed it, right? Stuffed it, make it look like an actual, like a cadaver, like a body, right? And, you know, we have this mango tree that actually was over the road. They climb up in the mango tree with this kind of a cadaver, this stuff thing, right? Around Halloween time. I'm sure it may not have been Halloween. This is just like a regular Wednesday night for them. They just disgusting, right? My younger brother, right? And my cousin. So they go up in this tree. We had this guy who used to ride up, bus driver, his name is Ron, right? Ron would ride up and down 8 Mile Rock in his bus. And, he blasting, he's one of the younger drivers. So he blasting music, so forth and so on. This is already sunset. My brother and cousin jump up in the tree. And Ron coming, blasting music, singing it, driving, so forth and so on. They throw the thing in the front of Ron's car. Bam, right? Ron. I only laugh now. I shouldn't be laughing. I try not to laugh because I could envision it. They throw this thing in the front of Ron's truck. And Ron swerve off the road. So anyway, I only tell you that to say, be decent. Don't be like my cousin and my brother. They are absolutely disgusting, okay? Be decent, all right? You remember when we used to dig holes, and a couple weeks before Halloween, we would buy a crate of eggs and put the eggs in the ground, right? Do you remember that, right? And so the eggs would stink, right? You remember that? And then we would throw it at people. Absolutely indecent. We shouldn't be doing that. You remember the sour? We used to do the same thing with the sour. You remember? Is it only me? I can't be the only disgusting child around here. My God. My grandmother, one time ago, when she was coming from 8 Mile Rock during Halloween time, her glasses was down. Her window was down. And these kids were just throwing eggs and whatnot. I think one of the kids hit her in the face with the egg, pap, right? And broke her glasses, and, she kind of swerved off the road. She was more embarrassed than hurt. And my uncles, they won't kill everybody. I said, you need to calm down. Y'all need to calm down, right? Like, this is a story, but they was telling us later on, and as when we came around. But they won't kill everybody. I said, y'all need to calm down. Okay? You won't kill everybody because your mother get hit? But when you was hitting people, mother and daddy, you... Indecency. Anyway, guys, we're having a good conversation today. I just want to kind of put that out there for October 31st as you guys are going out there, for all those persons who do Halloween, for all those persons who do Hallelujah Night, because some people do the Hallelujah Night. So anybody who's going to be celebrating tonight, I just hope that you do so with responsibility and sort of a sober mind as you approach these particular things. I don't get into that. But, we grew up in a particular way. Right? We never used to go trick-or-treating, but we had Boise with something now. I'm just trying to tell you this. We come from 8 Mile Rock. I was trying to be as decent as possible. My God. Lines are wide open, guys. Please be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-431-6325, 4259, anywhere from the family of islands. 242-300-5720, or hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line was live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Grant? I've been listening to you from just down the road.
Okay, man. Thank you, man.
Place. But now you had a good home.
Praise God.
Yeah, but now I have a problem with these utilities company. How? All right, this company, right? I can call it name, BTC. The internet was off from...
Hold on. I can call it name, mate. BTC. Go ahead.
No, you don't call it. I can call it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
On the 19th, they had an accident on Tropical Garden Road, knocked down the lamp pole, and I had an internet from then to now. And when you call that, they listen to music all day.
Tropical Gardens?
Yeah, Tropical Gardens Road off the airport road then. And most people know that from 8 Mile Rock, but the people from Nassau say Gambia Road.
No, I know where Tropical Gardens is.
Yeah, to go to Gambia Road there.
Yeah, that road would always...
The Prime Minister live up on the hill.
The road would build through the lake. Anytime in rain, my God, I got to swim through that.
Yeah. You need a little speedboat or jet ski to get through the round the curve.
Jesus God almighty. Okay.
And they licked the pole down from the 19th, from Sunday night, 10 o'clock.
What are you saying, the 19th of...
October
19th.
31st.
October 19th.
And I ain't getting internet yet. Every time I call the people, the music that's play.
All right, let me tell you what I want you to do for me. Let me tell you why. This is what I want you to do. I want you to leave your number with my producer, and I'm going to give your number to some people who was helping me. I had the exact same issue happen to me. I live on going towards Coral Harbor, and they knocked down my pole, right? Somebody knocked down the pole out one morning, but everything was good, no problem. So one morning I just come out and I saw all the lines in the road, right? And I had no problem on my internet and everything because I got the fiber, right? I got the big boy package. And so I had no problem with it, right? But as soon as they come fix it, they take all the line on the road, they cut the line. So then my thing was off. So I said, well, Jesus got my thing off. So I called a couple numbers, couple people. I had to go see some people. I can give their number to you. I can give the okay? So hold on.
You're a 4-year-old telling you, Daddy, I watch my TV. Boy, you know internet. Daddy, you ain't pay the bill. I said, boy, you know them nothing.
You can't tell him that.
So I got
Daddy.
I got hotspot, everything in the house off myself.
That's exactly what I had to do. That is exactly what I had to do. But they took care of me. They just now taking care of me. So we got everything rectified, and I'm going to be able to kind of pass your number on and your name on. Is that okay?
Yes, sir, no problem.
All right, just hold up for the producer. Producer, take his number from me, please. Now, this ain't no favor or nothing I do. I know these people directly, right? And then when we call their name on the air, so they will take your number. Amen. My God. Praise God for their expedient approach of being able to get these things done. They're good and decent people down there at BTC. They should definitely sponsor the show. Amen? Praise God. Guys, this is a good conversation that we're having today. I want it to be as decent as possible and lay these things out for you. I know sometimes it feels like, are we just complaining and talking about these things? Or are we making these politicians aware that we know better than they're saying to us? Because that's how I feel like I'm doing. I know better than you say to me. You have got to be kidding with me. I know better than this. And so that's the position that we're in. I want to read a couple of these texts. The lines are open if you want to be able to do that. So it says, Grant, you are really on to something. Until the Bahamas owns the tourism space and product, we, the true Bahamians, will not retain and improve it. The Bahamas and RCIs will improve the product because, this is Bahamas. The Bahamas and RCIs will improve the product because they own it. Our government have practically sold our birthright, and not even for hot soup. Talk to me. You know, Esau, I keep talking about that. And when you remember when Esau came and said, Jacob, give me something to eat. Oh, Jesus, Jacob, I can die. Give me something to eat. Jacob said, listen, I get you something straight. If you send me your birthright, well, what good is the birthright if I can't get something to eat? My God. You know he's cooking pea soup that day. And he needed that. This is an amazing thing. He says, that's how some Bahamians make their living, Howard, with Airbnb. Okay. Are you indicating to me that based upon the fact that Bahamians are making their living from Airbnb, a product that is less than 10 years old, that we should suspend everything else, everything. Suspend our creativity and the ability to do anything else and rely solely upon this one thing that around the world, governments, cities, states, and spaces are making modifications to and saying you're not allowed in our area. See, in Grand Bahama, it's different than Nassau. In Grand Bahama, there is a residential area and there's a commercial area. Very clear, very pronounced. You can't, and the two shall never mix. Talk to me. There's no mixing and mingling between the residential and the commercial area. And as a result of these particular areas, you can only live in a particular space, right? The only time you see people selling things out of their house is when you get into an impoverished area. So when you go in the ghetto, maybe this will be confined or identified as a residential area, but mommy there might be selling something out of their window in the night. They don't get no license for this. This is what they sell in the night. My point to you is that some persons, when you create a space, a commercial activity happening in their spaces, and this is supposed to be a residential area, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. And they alert the authorities. Hey, listen, I didn't know that we could have commercial property here. Is this guy doing this, this, and this? The cities are actually pushing back. And based upon the area, the zoning, they say, oh, no, these residential areas can't do this. This is not zoned for Airbnb. The world is pushing back at this product. Airbnb is a ginormous product that is making trillions, billions of dollars, and they own absolutely nothing. They own nothing. You mean to tell me that the Bahamas don't have the wherewithal, the sense to create a website for people to funnel traffic to the website, to identify how we can do these things, to own the website? This is bananas to me. You don't need Airbnb to do this. Anyone can do this. Telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Howard, how are you today, man?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
I'm fine, thanks. As a Bahamian, right, we don't need Airbnb. What we need right now is for some entrepreneur, along with the government, right, to create a website, Bahamas Vacation rental homes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a prime example. Howard, you see, like in Kissimmee, Florida, in Orlando, what does Bahamians do every year?
Go to Orlando.
And what they do? Rent what? Homes, right?
Yeah.
All right. The majority of people, when they carry in crowd, they rent home instead of just going and rent a hotel room.
Right.
Because it's more economical for them.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have a problem with the government getting the 10% tax from that, from the VAT from that. But the Bahamian entrepreneur will have a chance to make some money for himself.
Yes.
Or herself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But we need to move away from just saying Airbnb. All right? We need to create our own website. I mean, legally, through the government, create our own website. And if you have to get some sort of insurance for it, you don't mind doing that also. But at the end of the day, the Bahamians stand to benefit greatly. Thank you.
I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. Thank you so very kindly. Next telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead. Hey, caller, you on the line with us live? Hello? Caller, you on? She's still swimming in the canal. When you get out the canal, make sure you give us a call, please. 323-6232, 325-431-6, 325-4259. Anywhere for the family violence. 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. On the text line, we could be able to do that. Let me read a couple of these texts. It says, I agree the numbers would have been higher no matter who was in power. That's just what it is. I mean, don't try to jive me, man. Don't say, because the PLP and people decide to travel. Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me. Say it. This is what I would like to hear. This is what I would like to hear. With the greatest degree of respect, this is what I would like to hear. We recognize that the world is opening up, and we've seen significant numbers, pre-pandemic levels, 7.2 million persons coming to our shore within the space of 365 days. This is an amazing thing. However, the PLP understands that this is as a result of pent-up frustration and anxiety, a desire to be able to get out. And as a result of that, we've created this boom, boom, boom program for retention and sustainability. Over the course of the next 18 months, we're going to be rolling out bam, 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 whatever this program is, to ensure that we identify these people and we can retain these people. Simultaneously, the PLP government has done for the Bahamian people is created a space. Whilst we understand what they're doing with Airbnb, we've created a space unto ourselves for the Bahamas. This space, you got to get certified, qualified for this particular space. There's a course, that's a 6-week course for being able to do that. We want to provide an authentic experience. If you sign up with this website and sign up on these particular things, the Ministry of Tourism is now pushing this website around the world. And if people stay with you, we're going to give you this, this, and this. And come on, man, there's some things that you can do. There's some things that you can do. But if you keep sitting on your hand and doing the same things and going back to Stafford Sands model and keep going back to Stafford Sands model and keep going back to Stafford Sands model, you will never get forward. This is what politics does in this country. And I can only provide you with the example that I know also very clearly that all of us have seen with what Perry Gladstone Christie has done with the Bridge to the Future. I keep giving you this example. I need you to get the visuals for me, please. Former Prime Minister Perry Gladstone Christie stood on this bridge. He said, "This is the bridge to the future" in 2012. This is the bridge to the future. On this bridge, he said, Andre, come up here with me. Andre Rollins steps on the bridge. He said, Gregory Moss, come up here with me. Gregory Moss steps on the bridge. He said, Renwood, come up here with me. Renwood Wells steps on the bridge. Boom. So you got these three. I mean, these guys had the potential to be, listen, man. I know that they're great in their own spaces. They really are. They're great in their own spaces. They are. As an architect, engineer, one or the other, or both, I think, Renwood Wells. As a dentist, right? What do we call it? Orthodontist, Andre Rollins. And as a lawyer, Gregory Moss. These guys are absolutely phenomenal in what they do. The top of their class. They're phenomenal. But they could have been great politicians. Mother's sick. They could have been great politicians. And we thought they were geared up to be great. So the former Prime Minister Perry Christie stands on this bridge, and the three men, Andre, Greg, and Renwood Wells, are looking towards the east, which is the future. And as they look to the east, Perry Gladstone Christie turns around and looks to the west. Perry Gladstone Christie speaks about this bridge poetically, about what its capability is, about how it's going to be able to provide an opportunity for the next dispensation, next generation. And then he dismisses the three men entirely. Bam, all three of them gone. The organization did nothing to undergird them, to provide them opportunity, and at the slightest incident, they were gone. Never to be seen no more, not in the PLP. Never to be seen anymore. We keep throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We keep destroying the bridge to the future with old concepts and ideas. We are afraid to step into the unknown. We are afraid because we have no faith. O ye of little faith. You cannot make these proclamations about God, about our posture, about how we've been called, how we can be able to do this, how we're great as a nation, how these people go up to the sky and all into the sun and all touch the moon and look back down and see the Bahamas shimmering in the sea. Come on, man, you could say all these things and you're afraid to step. I don't understand you. And every single politician after has been afraid to step. What's the worst that can happen? Ask yourself that question. What is the absolute worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Can't be that bad. You should give them a try. You should give it a try. Take the next telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Next caller. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Howard, what's up, man?
Hi, good, man. What's happening?
This is my folio, man. Good to see you and reach back. You get back home safe.
Praise God.
Yeah. But I want to touch on something the gentleman was talking about BTC, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about that call BTC number when you're having problems. Because I had a problem with Flow the other day, too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in case any BTC officials listening, man, they don't answer that. They might say take that off.
The 225 customer service number.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to ride down by Southwest Plaza, man. They don't answer. Like the gentleman said, that music will play all day.
Mm-hmm.
All day. They don't answer that. They say they might say, just take that off. And they even tell no one, call the service line, call BTC. 225, I think, 5282, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Howard.
I'm right here, cousin.
Yeah. I have another joke for you. I have one joke for you before I go out and leave with you. The other day when you say you stuck inside the airport over there in China,
mm-hmm.
and you say you use master in one little corner and you go and hide behind one little pole. You mean one of them pole were on the airport over there, them big aluminum pole. Them big wide aluminum pole.
I got you. You need to stop it, right? It was one big pole. You need to stop. It ain't a little small pole, man. It was one a big pole, right? So I sit behind the thing. I couldn't see you. You couldn't see me. So I was behind that. Because I want to stay out of the people's way. I want to stay out of the people's way. And I did that. Listen to me. That was a hell of an experience. I still tried. I sitting down every day trying to think, Jesus God, how in the world something like that happened? And they did nothing but they were very graceful to me. I must tell you, they extended hospitality to me because they wasn't supposed to do that. They wasn't supposed to do that, but they did, and I'm very, very, very thankful for that. So I asked the lady, I said, so I coming back to Hong Kong now? She said, you get your passport, you'll come back to Hong Kong. Right? So I said, it's all right, I'll be back. Right? So I may be going back. I got to carry my wife this time. Huh? You know, I'm waiting for the row day for her to come, though. I'm waiting for row day because she wanted to go, right? She really wanted to go with me. And I said, baby, let me just go. Let me do some business and whatnot. She said, okay. Now, she, you know how the things go. She'll make sure you're safe now. But when row day come, you see, that's why God is telling you all, see, you all man? You all man? God give me to you. And you wouldn't know. You see? Anyway. Why y'all women is put God in camouflage clothes and ready to, y'all think God is a pit bull. Y'all want to sick him at people when you're ready. You need to stop it. And Jesus, you need to stop it. Child, when I get on my knees for you, you better, y'all need to, why y'all do that? You all don't know my God. My God, why you all think he's an assassin? You need to stop it and let's just be very clear about this. Guys, give me a call, 323-6232, 6325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family violence, 242-300-5720. Did I tell you that before? Me and my wife rowing one day. Rowing, right? And I think I win this row, right? You know. Quietly, I won't be able to get a victory under my belt. Because, she's winning sometimes. So I say, anyway, this finished, man. I don't hear nothing. I go in the bathroom, slam the door. I get in bed now, right? I put one foot in the tub, right? And I slip down, grab the curtain. I grab the curtain, bam, 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 and tub, right? One leg hanging out the tub, one leg high in the air, the curtain all over top of me. She come running in the bathroom. She opened the door, she look inside. She see me. I pattern trying to figure out, because you got one hand up trying to grab onto something so you don't fall, right? I got one hand up trying to grab onto something. And the shower curtain on me. Bam! I didn't hit my head, I hit it on the floor. She poked her head inside there. She said, oh my God. My God, don't play. You see that? When you mess it, I said, baby, what kind of old God you got? You need to stop it. What this is? Huh? She's a pointier, right? So this pointier is from Cat Island. You all pointiers, you all dangerous. She got pointier in the blood. I said, listen to me. I know you all got bottles in the tree right now. You need to stop it, baby. My God. So I don't bother with her no more. I just stay in my corner. I gotta be as decent as possible when I do these things. Guys, enjoy the conversation. Let me take this quick commercial break and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
We've been with you from the very start, leading the way and providing you with the best in primetime sporting experiences. From one goal to the next, you can count on us for full access to the best sports channels at home or on the go. Make Rev your only choice. Visit rev.bs. Every match, every game, every moment. Rev, your home for sports.
America completely run out of it.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, heat and cooling water pumps, generators and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bs.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. The lines are wide open. Be part of the conversation. The Foundation here with Howard Grant. Let me read a couple of these texts. It says, Bahamian man like bad woman. They just stalk and hide out for them. There's a reason a whole song is dedicated to junglers. Change is ... This is a text is coming through. Right? And it says that, Howard, when persons are elected, they become legislators and representatives of a constituency and are a part of a political organization. So they can't go on campaigning on the campaign, spewing their personal ambitions about what they want to do without first getting approval from their party or their leader of their party. So any candidates talking about what they can do or what they want to do for the constituency outside of using their voice in parliament to agitate for change is talking hogwash. They need approval of their party leadership. In some instances, you're right, but for the overarching objective of this conversation and for the purposes of forward movement in a constituency, you're wrong. Persons, especially, and this is why, especially from the family of islands, you have to identify persons that come from your constituency. Okay? even a baby, when the baby go to the pediatrician, if the baby has any agitation or any discomfort, the pediatrician has to ask, is there a discomfort here? No matter the signs and symptoms that indicate that baby may have a toothache or a stomachache or whatever the case may be, the pediatrician say, you okay, baby? Is there something here? Even with a baby. I give you that example. To say that you cannot find the issues in a constituency without first becoming a part of the constituency, to understanding. When I talk about Ricardo Grant and his capacity, I know what his strengths are. I know him. I know what his strengths are. I know that he has been cut from a different cloth, that he can deal with the intangibles, that he can deal with spiritual development, physical development, spiritual development, emotional development, so forth and so on. This is sort of his area. This is what he does. Motivational speaking, encouragement, biblical undergirding, so forth and so on. This is his area. This is where his strength resides. The community that we come from in West Grand Bahama is lacking that exact thing. There is a lack of hope in the community. There is rampant alcoholism. There is drug use. There is sexual perversion. It is a microcosm of what's happening in the Bahamas at large. But the one thing that is inconsistent is that there is not enough economic productivity happening in there. There are a lot of persons discouraged as a result of the hurricanes, as a result of the pandemic, as a result of all these things. There are people that are dying in this constituency, in these areas, because of a lack of occupation. And when you go there, after 6 months on the ground, talking to people, to go on an interview, to say that you're still talking to people, to find out something, and we're weeks away from an election, you got to be jiving. I hear what you're saying, because you know that I know this personally. My mother was a member of parliament during a time where she couldn't even build a sidewalk if she didn't have approval from central government. But the truth of the matter is that there should be an overarching objective, a goal, a desire to be able to see the constituency move in a particular direction. You have to have a vision for the constituency. Well, what the hell are we voting for you for if you don't have a vision? There has to be some consistency of whenever you stand in the House of Assembly, we know you're going to come from this particular angle. I got to know what you're about. You got to put something on the table. That's all I'm saying. So don't fight me. I don't need him to give me a well thought out. Everybody doesn't necessarily do that. I did it. I promise you. One of these days I can bring that here for you. I promise you. I did an entire campaign. Pages of pages of it. I did the statistics in my constituency. I identified the SWOT analysis. I did a SWOT analysis, the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, the threats. I did a SWOT analysis on every one of the past candidates and members of parliament. Come on, man. This is a new age that we're dealing with. You think I just can come here and quote Ephesians to you and Psalms and this? Come on, man. Why are we voting for these people? Why are we voting for you? I got the same Bible in my house that you talking about. You don't know nothing else? You don't know nothing about the constituency? You don't know nothing? No idea of how to be able to bolster economic activity? You don't have no vision for the constituency? Maybe this ain't for you. Maybe we don't vote for you. Maybe you sit out. Maybe you be an advisor, a spiritual advisor for these particular persons if you don't have a vision. You don't fight me because the truth is the truth. These are not facts. These can't be manipulated. This is the truth. If you're coming with no vision, you might as well stay home. Let's go to a telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Next caller. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Howard Grant.
Hey, my brother, what's happening?
You know, everything is, Howard, only God can tell you, because only God knows everything, and so mankind is trying to do that with the technology by enslaving us, so they want to know everything, what you see, what you think, what you read. They're taking pictures of people's thoughts, not in dreams now, right?
of people's thoughts?
Yes, and they have brain-to-brain communication, like with a computer, like from one mice to the next, or one, just like how you could call it. Well, I mean, it's called brain mails. I don't want to get into it because, it's just, but I just want to discuss the politics of the day. Personally, Mr. Grant, I really and truly, I love the conversation you did today, and I love the monologue at the beginning of the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I might have missed about 15 minutes of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But, I like how you get upon the statistics of the tourist numbers and all of that. These things are really futile or meaningless to me, the trickle-down effect, the neglect. So and then I love the fact that you mentioned the demographics of the people inside the straw market. The government allows these things to happen. Some people probably think French is the language downtown now. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They could get mad all they want, but Mr. Cooper, I guess he's doing his job, quoting data and et cetera, but he has to realize, in reality, it is nothing there. I saw he was lambasting a preacher the other day. He reminds me of Oda Benga. That's all I'll say as far as eugenics. Maybe someone will just go and look it up. But I was saying, I see the Daily Gain of politics. I got a joke to see with the guy who running for the FM down in Freeport, Smith.
The guy for the F&M is Grant, Ricardo Grant.
No, but I saw they put something up about a guy named Smith or Grant.
No, Kingsley Smith. Kingsley Smith is for the PLP.
But somebody saying
Ricardo
had
Grant.
some disparaging remarks about him and his wife, or what they say. People saying the voters down there saying him and his wife did this and that or whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's amazing how the social media is selective and just the smear campaign on people, right? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So I didn't really like it, but I'm just saying that they did it. But when you see it as far as it relates to this situation out of London that this girl, Brittany, the activist, was talking about, I don't want to call anybody's name, and the allocation of $52,000 a year for a poof car in London or whatever it is. I don't know who's related to it. It doesn't matter to me. There's no investigative journalism into these ventures and abuse of the taxpayers' money. And so I like the fact that you mentioned the banging on the desk. To me, the country's still in a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Sinking in a sea of a mess whilst these jokers playing around with political chess. That's what they're doing, sitting down. And I'm very ignorant to the political structure, and I don't care to learn it. What does that mean, Howard, banging on the desk? That shows consent or buffoonery? I mean, what does it mean? It's a non-verbal gesture. So I really don't, let's think. What does it mean to you? I mean, what does it
mean? For me, it shows support.
I guess that's
just what it is.
So anything that somebody others do, just blindly show support. Another thing that is offensive to me as a living human being is the laughter. I don't mind the laughter, but hereafter, everything is a laughter. So it shows that they are detached from reality and they have forgotten the reasons for their self-absorbed job. That's what it means to me. They can't see themselves. I wonder, sometimes it would be better if maybe some people could just alter their minds however they do it. Sit back and look down at the house of assembly like how God look down at the earth, and then you'll really see how foolish you look before the Almighty God. Sometimes people don't withdraw themselves. None of them, 99% of them have never even delved into the world of self-actualization for themselves or the country. For the country, because obviously themselves, because I don't want to get caught up in any mouth war, but public speeches require public reaction. And so there was a minister who mentioned something about 5 years needed to be, you need more than 5 years. But, I was offended by that also because 5 years is quick enough for somebody to emerge on the other side as a millionaire, right? But in 5 years is not enough to do things that are adequate and the low-hanging fruit. So this is what I'm observing.
You're wilding out today.
But
you wilding out. I love it.
No, but I'm just saying. But this is what I've observed, Howard, over the time you're on this planet. They emerge on the other side, and they show this urgency of self-interest to get rich. And as it relates to your boy Wells, I did like Moss and Rollins. Rollins, not so much, but Gregory Moss, to me, what's your boy name? The guy who switched over. You just call it Reynard Wells. His demeanor was actually self-reading for me because I could see within himself how hungry and rapacious he really was. And I don't know if he's still like that, but you could see the hunger in him for the power. So to me, he would have been a very dangerous politician had he been given the power. It's really and truly still, because you see the puppetized character that he displayed and the willingness to be subservient just to get ahead. So that's scary for me as a human, because as a man, you really should say yes, and you should also say no.
Wow.
You shouldn't just be saying yes, yes.
I appreciate you, man. 52.
And Howard, another thing, too, as it relates to the investors, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the Wind Group, I like how Dr. Minnis highlighted this thing about them trying to absorb the easements out Goodman's Bay, et cetera. But then something else was exposed in this letter, that Mr. Minnis wrote in the Guardian, Tribune or whatever, Guardian. But it says that they wanted to absorb a portion or annex a portion of the Goodman's Bay parking lot that is already overwhelmed with lack of space for the people, especially on holidays. That was in the article. So I'm offended by the fact that they even asked to do that. That just shows you what they think about us. This country is pathetic. Nothing more, nothing less.
Wow.
While they sit and talk. Bless.
Thank you, my brother. I do appreciate your telephone call. Ladies and gentlemen, to 52, to Maslow hierarchy of needs, to Maslow's theory for hierarchy of needs that you spoke to, which is the pinnacle of self-actualization, you have to get through some tiers, some levels. You have to get through the tier of the need to eat, to take care of yourself. A lot of politicians come in with foundational education, right? So they're qualified, they're articulate, they know these particular things, but they don't have anything for themselves. They don't own anything. They don't. And so they get in with a quiet expectation to be able to pursue that thing for themselves, right? So they're willing to make, and I don't talk about any specific politician, I just want to be able to be very clear about this. They're willing to morph and change their stance and position in pursuit of acquisition, that thing for themselves, that self-actualization. That's never applied to the country. It's always applied to their friends, families, and lovers, applied to themselves. And we, the electorate, the country at large, we never benefit from the ascension of any of our politicians. We never benefit from that. We never benefit from the ascension and recognition of any of our politicians, what they've done and all these things, what they acquire. That's why they could become millionaires and our constituency is still broken. Let's not forget now, when the current AG initially came into politics, right? Do we remember this? Let's just be very clear about this. When the current AG came into politics after a significant rift in Elizabeth, before he could even get into the by-election, there was a fight to find out whether or not this man was even a Bahamian. You forget this. Don't forget this. Okay? Whether or not he had 2 passports and he did this and he did that. Frankie Campbell had the same issue. But not to the extent that we saw what was happening with Ryan Pinder. Ryan Pinder had to prove himself. Got everything was cleared away, boom. In less than a year, I can be corrected, I'm sure that it was less than 12 months. I'm sure it was less than 14 months. After he started this new ministry under the PLP, which is financial services under the PLP, he quit the cabinet of the Bahamas. He stepped back from the cabinet of the Bahamas and applied himself to work for a company that he designed this particular, he was working for the financial services. Is it only me? Am I saying this wrong? It was about self-actualization for an individual. And then our prime minister said, I wish I had an opportunity like this for myself. While many of us who only got 1 passport, who never lived no place else, who aspire to have positions in this country, who read and write and this and that, and do everything to get on close to the proximity of power, political power, for an opportunity to serve our constituency from love, have never been given an opportunity. And Ryan Pinder took the opportunity, identified it, did what he had to do, and then stepped back. This was about self-actualization and acquisition for himself. I ain't fighting him. And just like the Prime Minister, this is a great opportunity. But we have to assess this as a people. We have to make the assessment and determination as to whether or not these are the elements and ideas that people put themselves before service. Is there a desire to see service at the forefront? That's just the question. Is service ever going to come first? Even when we hear the biblical text, wait on the Lord, and again I say wait, the interpretation of that, and many of us would have heard it over the years, is to serve, not necessarily to stand still, is to serve. The greatest thing that you can do is become a servant, and not this sort of divisive, manipulative approach to be able to render you superficial service for the expectation of instantaneous reward, but render service without any question. And in rendering this service, you will be able to be rewarded in due time and due season. Let me take a telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead. Next caller. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Help me, Howard.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I am wonderful. But, you know, persons like myself and 52 and the rest of those guys, we often come on the radio shows and we try to tell the Bahamian people exactly what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason or another, the divide and conquer technique taught to Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinland by the then President Mugabe of Africa is live and working well for them in the Bahamas. You understand? That was taught to Pinland by Mugabe of Africa. And when Pinland came back to the Bahamas, he taught it to Christie and Ingram. And he told them, you go to the FNM Ingram, you come back to the PLP Christie, and no matter which direction the Bahamian people go in, y'all got them. And that is exactly what's going on today.
Wow.
The Bahamian people has to be the most retarded electorate in the Western Hemisphere. If they can't see that's what's going on. I mean, we try to come and we try to tell them, some of us who probably the politicians.
I don't think you can call the people retarded. I don't think that's appropriate. I
You
don't think
know,
that's fair.
I never thought I would say that. Red Fields used to say that, you know, that we're stupid. I used to take offense to that, but you know something? We're very stupid. You understand? Either we ignorant, we stupid, or like Einstein say, what it is, we insane. Because it's right out there.
Wow.
It is right there. The scenario you're given, Ryan Pinder was voted in by the Bahamian people, changed all kind of papers in one, set up whatever he was going to set up, resign on the Bahamian people. And look where Philip Brave Davis, the first man out the gate was Ryan Pinder. And if the Bahamian people don't see what's happening, then we deserve to get what we have. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate your telephone call, my brother. I want to do a couple of things. I only wanted to give you an example of, because I could give you many examples. I can give you whether or not it's Ryan Pinder, whether or not, because this allegiance that Renwood Bellows had and his affiliation was always initially to Andre Rollins and the concept and idea that they birthed and came up with. But when Redwood Wells found himself in proximity to real power and the acquisition of real power in terms of being able to, you don't have to envision this anymore. This is here. You could feel, touch, see, and then he took a switch. When Andre Rollins left, there was an expectation quietly that maybe Renwood Wells would do the same thing, and it didn't happen. And then we watched Renwood Wells climb significantly. Every man has to make a decision, whether that's a decision for family, whether that's a decision for future. And I don't call anyone retarded or stupid for making decisions that actually support whatever their objectives are. I don't do that. But I don't believe that we, as observers who've been exposed to a greater understanding, should be condescending in our approach to be able to speak down to the Bahamian people. With patience, with motivation, with encouragement, we should actually sort of clear a path for persons to move towards. It may not necessarily be the instant gratification that you want, or people instantly being able to wake up and make that decision to move and to follow you. It may take time. But your responsibility and my responsibility is not to make people move now. It's to put a dent in the armor. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm here to do every single day when we have a conversation. My responsibility is to hopefully, and that's why I pair what I say to you with a story. I know many of you think that this is casual. This is by design. God himself taught me how to do this. Oh my God, I just get preachy with y'all. I don't want to get too preachy with you. Through years of experience, I understand this is like Mary Poppins. Just a spoonful of sugar make the medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar. The sugar and the honey is the stories that I tell you that is recognizable. It's the laughs that I give you. It's the approach, the lighthearted nature of being able to talk about serious issues. And hopefully this could penetrate the years and years of conditioning, political and otherwise, in our society to make you to look at something a little different. That's it. That's my responsibility. And I don't come here to pull down the veil. I can take it from one thread at a time. This is the life service. This is a commitment. This is something that you've been called to. For those of us who have an opportunity to go off to school, educate, to go and have these particular experiences and are back in this space, we have a responsibility not to be condescending, but to take the approach of being able to lift our brothers and sisters up out of the muck and mire, to make them to understand the infractions. One small example, one small story at a time. And that's the show today, guys. I want to thank you so very kindly for the opportunity to be able to speak with you. I love doing this. I really do. My wife said, you love this thing. I really do. I believe in y'all. I believe in us. I believe in the Bahamian people. And I believe that we are called by God for greatness. Now, for us to unlock that, we have to have the right people at the helm, the right gatekeepers to let us in. Guys, I want you to stick and stay for Chicago Line with Z Live. That's the show today. I want to thank you so kindly for tuning in with us. Tomorrow, we can dive into it. Hopefully, one of these politicians decide to come sit with me. I appreciate it, guys. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your weekend. My God, I think I'm doing too much. Did I say weekend? Today's Tuesday. I am wilding out. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We're going to see you here live and in full effect tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, guys. See you later.
I thought the love that we had was true. I thought I couldn't live without you. But then I found you was a junglist, causing me all kind of stress. Yeah, I did everything a man could do. I bought you fancy clothes and diamonds too. But then I found you was a rambling rose. Girl, you better pack up your clothes. Girl, go do what you wanna do. I can't tell you who to suck it to. Spread your joy, girl, if that's your thing. But I ain't gonna be no fool. Just give me back my ring. Yeah. I'm gonna let you keep a thing.
The Foundation of Hearts Grants is brought to you by Alive, Bahamas Welding and Fire, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation.